Hi everyone. Today we're taking a closer look at an issue that everyone's talking about, but very few truly understand. Did you know that India recently called out the United States over its double standards with Pakistan? And, shockingly, President Trump seemed to conveniently forget Pakistan's past actions. In this video, you'll get a detailed breakdown of this high-stakes diplomatic face-off, India's fearless response, Dr. Jaishankar's strongest ever statement, and the reason why the USA-Pakistan relationship keeps repeating the same old patterns. Stay tuned for sharp analysis, real facts, and the bigger picture behind this latest twist in global geopolitics. This is today's must-watch story. So let's start. India's strategic diplomacy is actively shaping the future of a multipolar world. By carefully balancing its ties with both the United States and Pakistan, engaging with international platforms like BRICS, SCO, and the Quad, and prioritizing sovereign decision-making, India navigates complex global shifts with confidence. This approach ensures that national interests remain at the forefront, while positioning India as a bridge and a strong advocate for fairness, stability, and cooperation in an ever-changing international landscape. India has taken a bold, no-nonsense stand on US-Pakistan relations. With an assertive foreign policy that refuses to tolerate terrorism or blackmail in any form, India is sending a clear message. Business as usual with Pakistan is over. Under Dr. Jaishankar's leadership, India has made it unmistakably clear at the highest levels. Diplomacy cannot coexist with support for terrorism. Concrete actions, from targeted operations to strategic diplomatic isolation, show India is ready to act decisively to protect its national interests. This is a turning point in Indian diplomacy. Gone are the days of hiding behind non-alignment. Today, India pursues a pragmatic, sovereign path, engaging with global powers while placing strategic autonomy and national security above all else. It's a bold new benchmark for regional leadership and international respect. During Trump's presidency, USA-Pakistan relations hit rock bottom. Trump openly called out Pakistan for harboring terrorists and failing on counter-terrorism. Nearly $2 billion in security aid was cut, trade perks were pulled. Yet he occasionally dangled diplomatic engagement, even offering to mediate Kashmir. Meanwhile, the US leaned closer to India, and Pakistan pivoted toward China and Russia, reshaping the entire regional map. The Trump years made one thing clear: USA-Pakistan ties are fragile, tense, and constantly in flux, a high-stakes game in a multipolar world. Osama bin Laden hiding in Abbottabad, Pakistan, shocked the world. Found and killed by US Navy SEALs in 2011, his compound was just miles from Pakistan's top military academy. The proximity sparked intense suspicion. Was Pakistan complicit, negligent, or turning a blind eye? Despite official denials, leaks and investigations suggest parts of Pakistan's ISI may have known, or even shielded, bin Laden. The fallout was massive. Trust shattered, US aid cut, and diplomatic relations strained. This episode is a stark reminder of how state interests, intelligence failures, and extremist networks collide, leaving a permanent mark on global security and counter-terrorism since 9/11. The history of USA-Pakistan relations is a story of tactical alliances and broken trust. Time and again, both countries have teamed up when it suited their immediate needs, like during the Soviet-Afghan War or the post-9/11 war on terror. But underlying mistrust and past betrayals never truly go away. Take the 2011 Osama bin Laden raid in Abbottabad. The USA found the world's most wanted terrorist hiding just miles from Pakistan's top military academy. Trust shattered. But almost immediately, cooperation resumed for short-term gains. This pattern, alliance when convenient, forgotten grievances when inconvenient, keeps repeating. It fuels instability, undermines long-term peace, and leaves the region caught in a cycle of suspicion and fragile diplomacy. The USA-Pakistan relationship is complex, fragile, and endlessly resetting, a cautionary tale of how short-term strategy can never fully erase deep mistrust. The USA is recalibrating its alliances in the Middle East, shifting toward transactional diplomacy and economic pragmatism, moving away from long-standing security commitments. President Trump's 2025 tours to Gulf states and landmark deals, lifting sanctions on Syria and reviving talks with Iran, signal a clear strategic pivot. The US is focused on maximizing immediate economic and geopolitical gains. This shakeup directly impacts India. With Washington reducing military engagement and reshaping partnerships based on short-term advantages, India must navigate a region in flux while protecting its own strategic autonomy. It's a time of both challenges and opportunities. India's independent diplomacy, careful balancing, and proactive engagement will determine its influence as power equations in the Middle East continue to shift dramatically. India's foreign policy today is decisive, assertive, and unapologetically sovereign. In a complex, multipolar world, India is protecting its dignity and independence, refusing to let any external pressure dictate its path. Gone are the days of idealistic diplomacy. Today, India practices strategic realism, proactive defense, economic self-reliance, and measured responses to threats. This is India emerging as a confident global leader, standing firm on its core values while safeguarding national interests, bold, independent, and ready to shape the world on its own terms. The US approach to the Middle East has swung dramatically across administrations. Under Obama, the focus was on multilateral diplomacy, cautious engagement, and negotiated settlements, especially with Iran, prioritizing stability and avoiding direct military conflict. Then came Trump, who flipped the script. Unilateral, transactional policies, personal diplomacy with regional leaders, a tough stance on Iran, and landmark moves like the Abraham Accords, normalizing Arab-Israeli ties but sidelining Palestinian concerns. Biden blends the two, rebuilding alliances, seeking predictability, strongly supporting Israel, and cautiously engaging Iran through diplomacy. Across these presidencies, we see shifting US priorities shaped by changing regional dynamics, a story of unpredictability, recalibration, and a constant search for influence in a turbulent Middle East. India's new strategic vision is bold, mature, and multifaceted. It champions strategic autonomy while actively engaging with major powers like the US, Russia, China, and key regional blocs like the Quad, BRICS, and ASEAN. This isn't just diplomacy. It's a strategy to safeguard sovereignty, drive economic growth, and assert global leadership. India has moved beyond traditional non-alignment, embracing flexible alliances, defense modernization, economic diplomacy, and climate action. The result? A confident, responsible global power shaping stability, development, and inclusive growth in an increasingly complex, multipolar world. India's future on the global stage is being shaped by dynamic, trilateral realignments that are redefining the world order. Through platforms like BRICS, SCO, the Quad, and minilateral groups like ITU2, India is balancing relations with major powers while championing a multipolar world. By forming issue-based coalitions and flexible partnerships, India safeguards its strategic autonomy amid global tensions and rivalries. Its role is pivotal, acting as a bridge between competing powers, advancing sovereignty, regional cooperation, and equity, and helping shape a more balanced, inclusive global governance in an increasingly complex world. India's role in a multipolar world is defined by strategic autonomy and a mature, forward-looking vision. As global power shifts from unipolar dominance to a more diversified system, India emerges as a key bridge between developed and developing nations, championing inclusive growth, regional stability, and global institutional reforms. By balancing security and economic interests with complex geopolitics, India pursues flexible, issue-based partnerships without ever compromising its sovereignty. This nuanced diplomacy allows India to protect its national interests while shaping a fairer, more stable global order, solidifying its status as a pivotal player in the evolving multipolar world. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Policy 360 for more sharp analysis on global politics, strategic affairs, and the big stories shaping our world. Stay informed, stay ahead.